If you heard about Partimento, maybe you heard about the Giovanni Furno method. This is a keyboard method, but we can easily adapt for plucked strings. For me, Giovanni Furno is one of the best methods of the Naples conservatory tradition, because this is a very simple method. It's a very simple, but it's very effective. It's very simple and effective because in a simple way, Furno teaches a lot of tools that make us able to improvise easily. We need to remember that the base of 18th century music, even early 19th century, is the rule of the octave. So, you need to be confident with the subject before approaching the Furno method. In a simple way, Furno teaches how to improvise with simple sentences and simple tools like openings, cadences, and modulations, sequences in a very simple way. Apart from learning how to harmonize basses and how to create melodies upon this basis, we can learn how to improvise openings. For example, we can improvise preludes, for example, with this simple tool. You can apply these ideas in any plucked strings instrument, early instruments or on classical guitar. Let's see how Furno teaches openings in his Partimenti. As you can see, each opening is closed by a simple cadence. For example, in the number 3, 5, 8, and 9, we find the schemata called Dohei. We can remember that in the Do-Re-Mi schema, when the bass does Do-Re-Mi, the melody does Do-Si-Do. When the bass does Do-Si-Do, the melody does Do-Re-Mi. This is just a structure. In real music, the improviser or the composer needs to embellish this structure, doing diminutions or figurations, for example. In this opening, Furno uses two Do-Re-Mi. First Do-Re-Mi in the bass, then the melody will do Do-Si-Do, then Do-Si-Do in the bass, the melody will do Do-Re-Mi, followed by a simple cadence. Now we have just Do-Si-Do in the bass, followed by a cadence, this time a compound cadence. Do-Re-Mi in the bass, come back to first degree, a little movement of rule of the octave, playing the 6th degree, then a simple cadence. The opening of number 9, we have Do-Re-Mi, but this time Do-Si-Do in the bass, so the melody will do Do-Re-Mi. But here we have a special harmony that when the bass is tied or syncopated, we need to use the 4/2 harmony. In Partimento number 4, 6, and 7, we have another schema in the opening. Now we have the primer. The primer is a descendant tetrachord in the 4, 3, 2, 1 degree of the scale. And this schema is commonly accompanied by parallel thirds. As in the Do-Re-Mi, accompany the primer with parallel thirds is just a structure, just an initial idea. We can embellish this, we can use diminutions or figurations. opening of number 6, we have a little movement in first degree, third degree, then the prelude 4, 3, 2, 1, followed by a compound cadence. After you feel comfortable with these openings, we can try to practice applying this in your own improvisation. For example, we can show C major key, and it's interesting that first we think in what opening we want to do, and remember, always finish these openings with a cadence. Now I will choose the prelude for the opening. Now Dohei mi. After we did the opening, we can think how to continue the idea. There are a lot of options. There are sequences, there are modulations, but here in this video I want to use just simple sentences, simple tools, right? So to continue our idea, we can use some rule of the octave movement. For example, I will repeat the prelude, and then after the cadence, I will do a little movement like development, and then finish this development with a cadence. This is a simple improvisation. I did 2 sentences. I did an opening and a little development, and then a cadence. And this is so cool because this is sound very musical, right? Almost like a real music. Another example, for example, in F major, using Dohei mi. So this is just simple ideas that we can take from Giovanni Furno's method. And if you are starting in this world of classical improvisation, I think this is the best way, especially for plucked strings. Furno works very well for plucked strings, early instruments, or classical guitar. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you are interested in learning classical improvisation, Partimento on plucked strings, you can contact me in the link below. See you next!